Hello, pantry stalkers. Whenever I say that, it sounds like I'm talking about stalkers, like people that stalk people, but I'm talking about people who stock their pantries. Welcome to my latest Prepper Pantry grocery haul. I'm Rebecca from StockingMyPantry.com. So, I'm going to give you just a quick once-over of what is in this particular haul. And at first glance, you can see that it's not a typical Prepper Pantry grocery haul. But I want to assure you that everything that is sitting on this table is going to end up in my pantry in a shelf-stable sort of way. So let's go ahead and talk about the various items now. First, I am going to be canning a couple of different items. You can see that I have some chickpeas here, some garlic, some tomatillos, onion, and curry powder. All of these are going to be used to can roasted tomatillo chickpeas. So I'll probably do that one of the first things out of everything that's on here on the table because I want to do it before the tomatillos go bad. So probably tomorrow I'm going to be canning these chickpeas and tomatillos. And of course I'll make a video about that. Next, I have citrus coming out of my ears. And the reason for that is that it is citrus season. And the best time to preserve food is when it's in season. Fruit and vegetables when they're in season. Generally speaking, the quality is better and also the price is better. So I have two 3-pound bags of cuties. And I am going to be dehydrating these. I'm just going to slice them and dehydrate them. I have a 2-pound bag of lemons. And just like with the cuties, I'm going to be slicing and dehydrating these. I have 5 grapefruit. Now this, I am going to be dehydrating it. I haven't figured out exactly the best way to do it. I'm considering slicing it, but since it has a thick rind and rind is bitter, I'm not sure about that. I may peel it and break it into sections and then dehydrate it. I may do it a few different ways because I've never dehydrated grapefruit before, but it's something that I want to give a try. Next, I have 6 Navel Oranges, and I also have, to go with that, some ginger root. I have a pound of ginger root. Okay, now I want to talk about why I put these two together, and that is that I'm going to be making a fruit leather that is made with oranges, with ginger root, soy sauce, chilies, and so on. And I'm going to dehydrate that into a fruit leather, and then you can use the fruit leather to make like an orange chicken, that type of thing. So I will not need all of this ginger root for that project, but I thought that it'd be good to just go ahead and dehydrate the ginger root and then powder it up, so I'll have it available for just for cooking in general and for some of the recipes that I make as part of my cooking from food storage. So this will be turned into like an Asian main dish simmer sauce type of thing. By the way, you may have noticed that I don't have any limes, and that is because I've already dehydrated limes. It was about a week or so ago that I was in the 99-cent store with my mom, and I picked up a 2-pound bag of limes for $1.99, and I've already dehydrated that. All right, so I've got bananas, and I've already dehydrated bananas, and some of these we're going to just eat. Some of these bananas we will just eat. But also I came across a recipe for chocolate banana fruit leather that I want to give a try, and so I'll be using probably about half of these or so to make that, and then the rest we will just eat. Okay, next I have 5 12-ounce bags of Great Value whole kernel frozen corn. and I'm going to be dehydrating that as well. In fact, it is so easy to dehydrate frozen vegetables. I'm going to put these on before I go to bed, and it's almost bedtime now, so it'll be super easy for me to do. I'm not going to make a video about it because I already made a video where I show how to dehydrate frozen vegetables, and I just happened to use corn in that, so I've already got a video on that, and I'll be sure and link to that in the description. Okay, next I have just one head of cabbage. It is also a good, cabbage is also in season, and it's a good thing to buy just in general. It's generally pretty inexpensive. I initially planned to do more, but since I was buying so much citrus and everything, I knew that that would keep me busy, and I didn't want anything to go bad. So I bought just one head of cabbage so that I would at least get started on dehydrating cabbage for my pantry. Okay, now all of these items, I've got carrots, I've got a pound of carrots, 2 yellow onions, 3 cans of coconut milk, a 4-ounce jar of Thai red curry paste, and I have 5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken breast. All of those are going to be used to make a Thai coconut chicken curry, and I'm going to be canning that. Okay, now we'll get into a few items that are just, more general pantry type items. I have a can of cut green beans, and I purchased that because I just used it in a recipe, and so I just used one in a recipe and I wanted to replace it. I have 4 cans of Albacore solid white tuna. 2 are Bumblebee and 2 are Star-Kissed. Now, I did Walmart grocery pickup this time because COVID is pretty bad right now in Southern California, and we live with my mom, who is 89, and so we're avoiding getting out and around people. And I only ordered these 2 cans of Bumblebee. I didn't order the Star-Kissed. And what happened is when I got home from the grocery pickup, and I've done it before and it usually works out real well. Well, when I got home, I realized I had some of one person's groceries and I was missing a whole bunch of my groceries. So I called Walmart and I let them know that I had that problem, and they figured out where my missing groceries were, and I agreed to bring back the groceries for the other person. And so I packed everything up, went to the store, and all of that. So when I was packing up the other person's groceries, there were these 2 cans of tuna, and I knew I had ordered 2 cans of tuna, but I hadn't really thought about that I had purchased Bumblebee, and, so I didn't realize that this probably belonged to the other person. But Walmart went ahead and they had done the reshopping for the other person. So I don't feel too bad. I'm sure they ended up getting it. But I think that's what happened there. That's how I ended up with 4 cans of tuna instead of 2. And the other thing is I purchased 2 cans of chicken breast, Great Value chunk chicken breast. And I did end up getting the proper 2 cans. So that was good. So you see that's a 2-pack of the 12, I think it's 12.5 ounces in each can. Okay? So otherwise, it seems like I've totally got my order that was messed up straightened out. And at this point, I don't think I'm going to worry about this. I'll probably call Walmart in the morning, and hopefully I can talk to the same person that I talked to today and say, I think I somehow managed to get the wrong thing with the tuna. But anyway, it was just one of those rare times where the order was very confusing, and so that's what ended up happening there. Okay, we can't forget about snacks. And so I bought some Great Value dry roasted peanuts. I got 2 Stack Attacks. These are basically the same thing as Pringles. It's just a Great Value version of them. This is barbecue, and this is cheddar cheese. Okay, finally, I got a 6-pack of half-gallon mason jars. So there's 6 jars that are half-gallon. You do not use these for canning. They're too big to use for canning, but I got these because I had purchased another 6-pack of these, and I've been dehydrating so much, and I love getting like a full jar of, you know, cubed potatoes, or like it might be oranges or whatever. And so I wanted more of these for storing my dry foods, because again, I don't plan on using them for canning. So I went the other extreme with getting 12 quarter-pint jars. And I got these just because there might be some times when I want to do some smaller items. Also, with the canner that I have, you can only fit, like, let's say 5 pints or what have you. And I wanted to see if I can put another layer of jars on top of my pints, which I should be able to with these quarter-pint jars. And so that's just a way for me to can a little bit more at one time. So one thing that I want to drive home in this particular grocery haul video is that you can see how both canning and dehydrating opens up a whole new world of things that I can add to my prepper pantry. You saw all of the citrus fruit. You saw bananas, that I'm going to make a chocolate banana fruit leather, and so I can have kind of a dessert that's a little bit healthier. Frozen corn. Instead of it just going in my freezer and taking up a bunch of space, I'll dehydrate it, and I suspect it'll fit into about a quart jar and just be on my shelf and not have to be refrigerated or frozen. I will have some ready-made meals with the Thai coconut chicken curry and with the roasted tomatillo chickpeas and so on. So if you don't already do anything to build your prepper pantry besides shopping at the grocery store, I just want to encourage you to consider exploring the possibility of going beyond that. Now, it totally works. If that's what works for you, there's nothing wrong with building your prepper pantry just at the local grocery store. That is totally fine, and it's certainly a decent way to do it. But I feel like you can do so much more to prepare healthy and nutritious and a variety of foods for your family or for yourself if you're single, and have them shelf stable if you know how to dehydrate and or can. If you're just considering getting started with one of those, I recommend dehydrating simply because you can get started very, very inexpensively. And I just recommend getting a dehydrator that has temperature control, but otherwise, you know, you don't need to go for anything fancy. And you don't need a whole lot of fancy equipment. You don't need special jars. You know, you do ideally need a dehydrator with a temperature gauge on it, and you can get those for under $100. So I just want to encourage you, if you're not there yet, then don't worry about it, because the main thing is that you consistently add to your prepper pantry, whether that's through buying things at the grocery store or canning, dehydrating, or like me, all of the above. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you would like the video, and also if you haven't already done so, if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone, and I wish you the best as you work on stocking your pantry. Take care. Bye-bye.